Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. November 14th, basketball plays for us, NBA and college. There's a ton of college going on tonight, as well a ton for the NBAs. It's the in-season tournaments going on. We are going to start off with college basketball, and we're basically just going to focus on the top 25 here. Tonight. There are some times that we get away from that, especially once we get to conference season, stuff like that. But so we'll get started off. Wofford, Tennessee, we're going to pass on that game. Same thing with Eastern Michigan, Florida Atlantic. FAU, though, did already cash a ticket for us this season. So Connecticut with the largest line I may have seen against Mississippi Valley State, line currently at 45.5. That is a big, big number. We are going to go to the State Farm Classic, though. Game one of that, Duke, Michigan. Duke currently 3.5-point favorite, 141.5 total. We are going to take Duke. We've got two plays on Duke in this particular game, so we're going to take Duke minus 1.5 first half and minus 3.5 for the game. One more time, Duke minus 1.5 first half and minus 3.5 for the game. Then we're going to get into Marquette, Illinois. Smells like a trap, looks like a trap, probably is a trap, but Marquette is the better team here. They're getting 2.5 going against Illinois. Total at 148.5. We are going to take Marquette and just stash the points. So plus a half first half and then plus 2.5 for the game. So one more time on Marquette, plus a half first half and plus 2.5 for the game. Texas A&M, SMU, in-state rivalry. A&M only a 5.5-point favorite, even though they're a top 20 team on the road. But we are staying away from that mess. Alabama, South Alabama, we're going to not be on that one as well. Milwaukee, Colorado being ranked 18.5-point favorite. We're staying away from that one. Next game up, though, is Kansas, Kentucky. Kansas, best team in the country, ranked number one, 6.5-point favorite against Kentucky. Kentucky's got a lot of young stars, but they haven't played a lot together, where Kansas has a ton of veterans, and they look like in midseason form early. So we are going to take Kansas. Kansas minus 3.5 first half and minus 6.5 for the game. So Kansas minus 3.5 first half and 6.5 for the game. Creighton, Iowa. The line's already moved on this one, so it's probably going to throw us out. Creighton, 12.5-point favorite at home against Iowa. I will tell you this. I think Creighton has a possibility of being a Final Four team this year as long as they stay healthy. Of course, that's the kicker for all of them, right? But Iowa always tends to play pretty solid, but we really did like this line at like 10.5. But like I said, as it creeps to like 12.5, we're going to stay away from it. But make sure you do check out the Google Sheets at the end of this episode and see if we have any updated bets on those. UMKC against Baylor. Baylor 24.5-point favorite. We're going to stick away from that one. The last game of the night, 9 o'clock out here in Arizona, 8 o'clock out west. So that'd be 11 o'clock Eastern. UC Irvine against USC. Somehow USC is still only barely a double-digit favorite, minus 12.5. So we're going to hop on top of this one as well. USC minus 7 first half and minus 12.5 for the game. So one more time on that one. USC minus 7 first half and minus 12.5 for the game. I think everybody thought like Bronny was the big difference on this team or something, and that's the reason why it's going crazy. But we definitely see they have a lot of talent on that USC team, and we're going to ride that out. All right, so we finished up with what we got for college basketball tonight. Let's head into the association NBA time. This is the in-season tournament on Tuesday night. Pacers at the 76ers. 76ers 5-point home favorite as they did beat up the 76ers last time. 240 total, which most of the Pacer game, it was in the 230s the last time. They crushed it. So now it's up to 240. I will say this. Most of the Pacer games end up in the 250s. So I'm shocked that we haven't seen like a 247, 248 just to see. But we are not going to play this as they just played. So we're going to stick away from the game. But the one bet that we like, and this will be best bet of the night as well, is Halliburton over 36.5 par points, assists, rebounds combined. Like I said, our best bet of the day is going to be Halliburton over that 36.5 points, assists, rebounds. Next game up, Heat, Hornets. Hornets, total disappointment coming off that game at Madison Square Garden with the Knicks. They're a 5-point dog at home, 223. They do not play one lick of defense. And they are super loose with the ball. It's fun to watch Melo, but he's more worried about showing a dude up than he is actually winning a game. So we're going to stick away from that matchup. Hawks, Pistons. Pistons, Cade Cunningham for some reason decided to only score like 6 to 8 points in the last matchup for some reason, like he needed the night off. Pistons 4-point home dog, 225.5 total. We are staying away from that monster as well. Spurs, Thunder, though, we are in this game, and we really like this game quite a bit, and the line keeps moving. So we got this particular line at 9.5. It's now at 10.5, and I foresee it probably going even more in that direction. So I would definitely recommend that you hop on this thing or just play maybe first quarter, first half, as there's normally not as much movement on those particular bets, playing it that way. But yeah, we absolutely love the Thunder in this one. I just think the Spurs have showed up somewhat in some games. I'm not gonna deny that. And Wembanyama is extremely fun to watch, right? Like, you don't know what you're going to kind of get with him. You might get something crazy like every quarter, it seems like. But I really think that the Thunder, when you really look at this team, they have put together something that they can win now. This is not 2-3 years from now or anything like that. This is a team that they can win now. They can make some noise in the playoffs. They're going to need some experience. This is a great year to do it. But we love the Thunder here, so Thunder minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 5.5 first half, and minus 9.5 for the game. So one more time, Thunder minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 5.5 first half, and 9.5 for the game. If you're not comfortable at the 10.5, then play the alternate line down to either 9.5 or 10. Chet Holmgren over 1.5 blocks. So he hits this pretty close to 70%. He'll hit the over 1.5 blocks. We love it. It is heavily juiced, like minus 160, but I think well worth it. So we'll take the Holmgren over 1.5 blocks. SGA over 42.5 par. So 42.5 points, assists, rebounds. I think he puts up 33, 5, and 5 tonight. It's probably a pretty easy way to get home on that one. Holmgren over 25.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. Holmgren gets 16, 7, and 3. Or 16, 7, and 4, 16, 8, and 4. Maybe he gets his 18 points tonight. Takes it easy on the rebounding side, but we love Holmgren as well. And then SGA over 5.5 assists. So we think he's going to need to hit 6 or 7 in order to cover our par bet. So we're kind of intertwined the two there. So on that Thunder Spurs game, Thunder minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 5.5 first half, minus 9.5 for the game. Holmgren over 1.5 blocks. SGA over 42.5 par. Holmgren over 25.5 par. And then also SGA over 5.5 assists. And one thing to look out for in that particular game here is we'll see turnover-wise where they've got Wembanyama at today. Wembanyama's at 3.5 turnovers, so we're going to stick away from that one. If he's at 2.5, normally we're going to play that over all day and twice on Sunday. But not when it's 3.5. For some reason, when that line's 3.5 or 4.5, he always seems to go under or right at, so we'll stick away from that trap on that one. Magic at the Nets. Nets 3-point home favorite, 218.5. Both teams turn the ball over way too much and create steals on the other side. I could see a low-scoring game on that one, but we're not on that particular game. Mavericks, Pelicans, we are. Mavs 3.5-point road favorite. In New Orleans, 239.5 total on that win. We do. So we like the Mavs quite a bit, and we like Luka on this one. So Mavs minus 0.5 first quarter, Mavs minus 1.5 first half, and minus 3.5 for the game. Luka's been scoring 30-plus points and playing 25 minutes. So we think if this game's a little bit tighter than the couple blowouts they've had as lately, Luka over 30.5 points, over 46.5 par, points, assists, rebounds. So we definitely like the Mavs here. The Pelicans have had a lot of injuries so far this season with Ingram, with CJ McCollum. They also had to give Zion a day of rest. So we're going to stick with the Mavs here. I know they just played, and the Mavs blew them out. So maybe a little bit tighter game, and on the road, Luka's got to do a little bit more scoring. So he hits his player prop of scoring and then also par. Next game up, Trailblazers at Jazz. If you're betting that game, I hope you love one of those teams because that could be crazy. We're not on that particular matchup. Nuggets, Clippers. We are there. The Clippers haven't won since James Harden showed up, and we don't think they're winning again tonight. So Nuggets minus 1.5 first quarter, minus 2.5 first half, and minus 4.5 for the game. And then Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. He's been hitting this one at about a 65-70% clip as well. Is there anybody on the other side of LA that besides Zubats that you worry about rebounding the ball? So we'll take Jokic over that 12.5. We think he easily gets home probably 15 rebounds tonight. So one more time, we got Nuggets minus 1.5 first quarter, 2.5 first half, and minus 4.5 for the game, and Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. Just we got 2 games left. We'll get to the one we're not on, which is Grizzlies Lakers. I can't figure the Lakers out. They're kind of like betting on the Cowboys. They're always juiced a little bit just because of the public. They're a 4.5-point favorite at home, 223.5, but the Grizzlies are god-awful. No Ja Morant means no wins, I guess. I don't know. Like, Desmond Bain seemed to be about it. So what happened to Jarrett Jackson? Why didn't he turn into such a non-all-star? I have no idea. The other game we are on, and it's just a couple player props, T-Wolves at the Warriors. T-Wolves won the other night. Warriors 2-point home favorite, 219.5. A little low for that particular matchup as well, but it is back-to-back games, so we're sticking away from that part of it. The 2 player props that we love are both Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards over 26.5 points. I had a friend tell me this, that a lot of times they can play player points on Anthony Edwards and get it in the low 20s because most of his points tend to come in the fourth quarter at closing time. So the only issue with that is what happens if they go off early and Anthony Edwards doesn't have to play a lot in the fourth. That's the only downside of that. So you might look at taking the 26.5 and have that in your back pocket, and then also see if AE normally does. It seems like he gets 12 every first half, and then it's a question if he's going to score 15 or more in the second. Last game out against the Warriors, he scored 17 in the fourth quarter. He's definitely the closer on that team. They go to him when it's closing time, but we love Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, over 26.5 points and over 37.5 par. Par is not hard to get to, especially when we think he's going to score 30 plus, and then we just basically need combination of 8 rebounds and assists. So we'll take that over 37.5 par. So the only 2 plays in that game. So at the end of this episode, in the comments section, do make sure you check out the link to the Google Sheets. This will have all of our bets, what juice we got those at, how many units, and what book we placed them at. If you're not familiar, FD is FanDuel, DK, DraftKings. We do a lot of bets there. ESPN Bet actually opens today. We will be using them. We occasionally use Caesars, but I think ESPN Bet will probably have quite a bit of stuff on there as well. We'll find out with all the promos and all the free bullshit that we don't even put on our sheets, by the way. We go just strictly off units won or lost. We don't put the juice on, the boosts on there and all that kind of stuff. That's mainly for our bonus on this end. But we don't even put it on there, and it's profitable without it. So we're not trying to bullshit you like some of these, like, oh, we got a 50% profit boost, so we go ahead and put that. No. Here's our bet. Here's the juice. Here's what we won or lost, right? So simple enough. It just makes life a little bit easier, especially when we're trying to calculate everything on the sheets. So like I said, make sure you check out those Google Sheets. They have all the info in there. This time of year, it's football and basketball. So we've got like college football bets for tonight in there. We'll also have some NFL stuff will start popping today, and then also college basketball and pro basketball bets today. We've had a good run on college basketball. So we're on a 3-day win streak, and we've won 9 out of the last 10 days have been profitable. Yesterday could have been a little bit better, but, we weren't meant to win first quarters and first halves yesterday, kind of the way it went. So that was kind of the downfall of yesterday. We just didn't hit any first quarter, first halves, but we ended up hitting games, and we ended up hitting a lot of player props and made a lot of money. So make sure you follow along on that, match them up with your bets. It should give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting in the window to make that money. So that's what we're here about. And as always, if you can subscribe and get notifications to the YouTube channel, makes your life a lot easier when you subscribe and get notifications turned on, because when we drop our bets, you get the little ding to your phone saying it's time to look at the sports bets for free. Just drop some stuff. We try to drop it as early as we possibly can in order to make it super easy for you to match that up and place those early instead of having to try to jam them in all in the last 5 seconds. Get them in early, then you don't have to worry about what the line does. Unless we're waiting for a line move or something, then I completely understand. Sometimes, like the difference between 6.5 and 7 or 7 and 7.5, I understand we kind of want to wait that out. No issue there at all. But we're going to post them early, let you know how we feel about it, and kind of move on from there. To be really honest, I've been doing this a long time. the earlier normally I bet the bet, normally the better is the result, right? So if the bet's available on Tuesday and the game ain't until Sunday, normally I end up a lot better off with that pick than I do the one I'm going to pick Saturday night or Sunday morning. So just an FYI on that one. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.